You ever been told, wow, you don't look your age? Maybe it's a compliment, maybe it's surprise, but here's the truth. It's not luck and it's not just skincare. There are deeper, often unnoticed reasons behind that youthful glow. And today I want to walk you through 7 hidden ones, especially 5 that might just change the way you see yourself forever. You ever notice how some people just seem to carry this calm energy about them, not in a forced or overly zen kind of way, but more like they've made peace with things most of us are still fighting. And here's what's wild. Those same people often look way younger than they really are. That's not a coincidence. That's the first hidden reason I want to talk about today. See, looking younger than your age has way less to do with what's on your skin and a whole lot more to do with what's happening beneath it. And stress, as that silent, subtle thief, is one of the fastest ways to age you. It wears your body down. It shortens your fuse. It makes your face tighten up, your eyes dull, and your posture slump. But here's where it gets interesting. When you've figured out how to manage your stress, even imperfectly, you're already slowing that process. Most of the time, people think stress management means yoga retreats or expensive therapy sessions or long bubble baths with music playing in the background. And sure, those things help, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the quiet, unsexy, consistent decisions you've probably been making without even noticing. Like pausing before you react, taking a deep breath when your kid pushes that one button, or choosing to walk away from drama even when the other side really wants to pull you in. You may not think that counts. You may not even notice it when you do it, but your body does. Your nervous system registers that pause. Your cells record that slower heart rate. Your face reflects that shift. And all of that adds up over years. You're not bottling it all up. You're not bearing it. You're processing it. And that makes a visible difference. I've seen people with every kind of wrinkle cream on the shelf still look tired, worn, and heavy because they're carrying emotional weight they've never learned to set down. And then I've met folks who don't do much more than wash their face with water, but they have this glow, this lightness. What's the difference? It's in how they handle their stress. We age faster when we live in constant fight or flight. That's not just a saying, it's a biological reality. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is helpful in short bursts, but when it's always high, it breaks down collagen, thins your skin, and increases inflammation. Your body stays in this emergency mode, burning energy and wearing you out. But if you're someone who's learned to catch yourself in the moment, who's learned to breathe before reacting, you're giving your body space to reset. Even if you didn't grow up with good coping tools, even if life has thrown you more than your fair share of chaos, there's still something in you that decided, I'm not going to let this define me. Maybe it's the way you journal before bed. Maybe it's your morning walk. Maybe it's prayer. Maybe it's just having that one person you call who really gets you. Whatever it is, it works and it shows. And no, it doesn't mean you're never stressed. It means you've become a student of your own peace. You know when to lean in and when to let go. You've learned the value of protecting your peace because you've lived through what happens when you don't. There's a kind of strength in choosing not to fight every battle, in choosing silence over shouting, in staying grounded when everything around you is spinning. That strength keeps you younger, not just in appearance, but in energy, in presence, in spirit. So the next time someone says, you look amazing, don't just credit your genes or your moisturizer. Give yourself credit for every moment you chose calm over chaos. For every time you said, I'm not going to let this steal my peace today. That's not just resilience. That's wisdom. And wisdom. That's the real anti-aging secret. You've earned that lightness in your face. You've earned that softness in your smile. And it's time to start seeing that as the gift it really is. Because your calm is showing. You ever notice how some people move through the world a little differently? Like they're not in a rush, but they're not dragging either. There's intention in the way they walk, how they sit, even how they stretch when they think no one's watching. It's like their body is in sync with their mind. And funny enough, those same people often look younger than their actual age. That's not a coincidence either. We've been sold this idea that staying young looking comes down to what we put on our body, lotions, makeup, injections, all the surface stuff. But if you really want to know the truth, Youth starts in how you move. I'm not just talking about going to the gym or checking off your workout on a fitness app. I mean, how you carry yourself throughout the day, the little choices, the small, consistent ways you honor your body with movement. Because movement, intentional movement, keeps the blood flowing, muscles active, joints loose, posture tall. It brings life into your face. It energizes your voice. It adds this natural rhythm to how you walk into a room. And that rhythm, people see it. Even if they can't explain it, it reads as energy. It reads as presence. And yeah, it reads as youth. But here's the key. It's not about intensity. You don't have to run marathons. You don't have to be in the gym 5 days a week. Some of the youngest looking people I've ever met don't even have a gym membership. What they do have is an understanding that movement is medicine. They stretch in the morning. They take stairs when they can. They dance while they cook dinner. They garden. They move with purpose, not punishment. And maybe you do too. Maybe without even thinking about it, you've built little habits that keep your body engaged. Maybe you walk your dog every evening, not just to check a box, but because it clears your mind. Maybe you've picked up yoga, not to look like someone on a magazine cover, but because it helps you breathe easier. Those things matter. They add up. When we stop moving, we start stiffness. Both physical and emotional shows up on the outside. It pulls your body inward. It dulls your expressions. It slows down circulation, which affects everything from skin tone to posture. But when you keep moving, even gently, you tell your body, we're still in this. We're still engaged. We're still alive, and people can feel that. They may not be able to point to exactly why you seem younger, but it's there in how you sit tall at a table, in how your shoulders aren't hunched from hours glued to a screen, in how your neck turns easily when someone calls your name. It's subtle, but real. There's also something about moving with intention that reminds you this body, your body isn't just a vehicle, it's a partner. And when you treat it with kindness, when you show it respect, it shows up for you in return. It keeps your face relaxed, your energy up, your posture strong. And that posture, that's a whole kind of confidence most people chase but never quite catch. People often say, you have such good energy. And what they mean is you feel awake, alive, in tune with yourself. That doesn't come from just sleep or skincare. That comes from moving your body in ways that feel good, not to burn calories, but to build connection. So if you've made space in your day, even just 5 or 10 minutes for the kind of movement that brings you back to yourself, that's not a small thing. That's self-respect. That's youth maintenance. That's resilience in motion. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't need the fanciest sneakers or the latest fitness tracker. Just keep moving. Keep showing up for your body the same way it shows up for you every single day, because the way you move, quiet, steady, grounded, it's telling the world something powerful. You're still here and you're still growing. You ever meet someone who just has this light in their eyes? Not because of makeup or some camera filter, but because something inside them hasn't dimmed. There's a warmth, a sense of curiosity, almost like they're still discovering life instead of running from it. And when you talk to them, when you really look at them, they just seem younger. Not in an artificial way, but in an ever real, present, fully alive way. That right there, that's mindset. That's number 3. People overlook it all the time. We're so focused on what we see in the mirror that we forget how much our thoughts shape what shows up on our face. And I'm not talking about fake positivity or pretending everything's okay when it's not. I'm talking about a quiet, steady belief that life still has something good for you. That even when things don't go as planned, there's still room for hope. That mindset doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you look, because your face tells a story. The way you smile, the softness in your eyes, the way your forehead settles, those aren't just facial expressions. They're reflections of your internal world. If you've lived through hard things, and I know many of us have, but you still choose to show up with grace, with optimism, with an open heart, your face carries that choice. And it looks younger, not because you're trying to hide your years, but because you're not weighed down by them. We age faster when we hold on to resentment, when we expect the worst, when we carry the belief that things will never get better. Those thoughts show up in our bodies, tension in the jaw, furrowed brows, tight lips. Over time, they shape the way we appear. and people can feel that energy before you even speak. But when you've learned to lead with curiosity instead of judgment, to wonder instead of assume, something shifts, you soften, you open, you stay teachable. That teachability, that sense of still learning, still growing is deeply youthful, because youth isn't about age. It's about possibility, and possibility lives in an open mind. Some of the most youthful people I know aren't the ones chasing trends. They're the ones willing to listen, to learn, to evolve. They've let go of needing to be right all the time. They've stopped defending every old belief. They make room for change without making it a crisis. And because of that, there's movement in them. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that movement keeps them vibrant. And it shows up in their face, their energy, their posture. And maybe that's you. Maybe you've been through enough to be bitter, but you chose better. Maybe you've had your moments of doubt, but you didn't let them define you. Maybe you're not always positive, but you've held on to hope. And if so, you've already tapped into one of the most powerful age-defying forces out there, because that kind of mindset, it lifts your energy. It lights up a room when you walk in. It draws people to you, not because you're flashy, but because you feel safe, grounded, alive. And that's something no product can buy. It's something you grow into. It's also something people feel in conversation. You know, the kind of person who doesn't rush to correct you, who doesn't need to prove anything, but listens, nods, reflects. That calm, curious energy is magnetic, and it's youthful because it says, I'm still here, still learning, still open. You become someone people want to be around, not because you're perfect, but because you're present. And the beauty of it, this mindset isn't about ignoring reality. It's about choosing which part of reality you want to feed. Do you want to nurture worry or wonder, fear or faith? That choice rewires your brain. And over time, it reshapes your face. Your body hears it. Your spirit reflects it. Your presence radiates it. So when someone says, you don't look your age, don't just chalk it up to genetics or good lighting. It might be that you've simply kept your heart open a little longer, held on to wonder a little tighter, given life permission to still surprise you. Because when your mindset is open, your energy stays young and your face can't help but show it. You ever notice how certain people just seem to glow differently when they're around the right people? Like their laugh comes easier, their face softens, their whole energy lifts. You can almost feel it in the air. It's lighter, it's safer, it's real. That's not just a mood boost. That's biology, that's chemistry. And it's one of the hidden reasons some folks just look younger than their age. It's not magic, it's connection. We weren't made to do life alone. I don't care how independent you are, how strong you've had to be, or how much you've learned to carry by yourself. Your nervous system was built for connection, real meaningful connection. The kind where you can let your guard down, be fully seen, and still feel safe. And when you have that, even just a few people who offer that kind of space, your whole body responds. We age faster when we're isolated, when we go long stretches without being heard, without touch, without laughter. The absence of connection isn't just lonely, it's harmful. Chronic loneliness triggers the same stress responses in your body as real danger. Your heart rate stays higher, your immune system weakens, your sleep suffers. And all of that. It shows up on your skin, in your posture, in your eyes. But the opposite is true too. When you feel connected, genuinely connected, your brain releases oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone. And oxytocin doesn't just feel good. It is good. It lowers stress. It reduces inflammation. It even helps regenerate cells. It literally helps slow aging from the inside out. And most of the time, we don't even realize it's happening. Maybe it's that one friend who texts you after a rough day just to check in, or the cousin you don't talk to often, but every time you do, it feels like home. Or maybe it's your dog waiting at the door, tail wagging like you've been gone for years when it's only been 20 minutes. All of those moments, those connections, they bring your body back to a place of safety. And safety is where healing happens. It's where youthfulness is preserved. You don't need 100 people. You just need a few who make you feel seen without having to perform. People who know your story and love you not in spite of it, but because of it. That kind of connection is rare, but when you have it, it shows. You walk lighter, you laugh easier, you soften, and people see that even if they can't name it. Maybe part of why you look younger than your age is because you've done the work, not just to find those relationships, but to protect them. You've chosen to invest in the people who pour into you, not just take from you. You've learned to let go of the energy drainers, the one-sided conversations, the relationships that leave you feeling more alone than when you started. That's wisdom. That's maturity. And it shows. And maybe along the way, you've learned to be that safe space for others too. Maybe your kindness is someone else's oxygen. Maybe your listening ear has been a lifeline. That matters because connection is a two-way street. When you offer it, you create it. And in that exchange, something beautiful happens. Your body releases gratitude. Your face lights up. Your spirit expands. That's youth. That's real, grounded, lived in youth. We all go through seasons where connection feels harder. Maybe people move away. Maybe loss leaves an empty chair at the table. Maybe hurt makes it harder to trust again. That's real. And I'm not here to dismiss that. But if you've found your way back to connection, if you've opened your heart again after it was broken, if you've dared to love, to trust, to reach out, then you've already given your body one of the greatest gifts it could ever receive. Because in a world that pushes hustle, independence, and doing it all on your own, choosing connection is a radical act. And it's one that pays off in ways you can see and feel. It's in the softness of your eyes. It's in the warmth of your smile. It's in the peace in your presence. So if someone looks at you and says, you seem lighter, younger, happier, it's not an illusion. It's connection doing its quiet, powerful work. Because when you're loved well, it shows. You ever wake up after a truly good night's sleep and catch your reflection, and for a second, just a second, you almost don't recognize yourself. Your skin's smoother, your eyes are brighter, your whole face just looks more at ease. That's not a coincidence. That's your body saying thank you. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair, it's recovery. And it might be one of the most underrated, powerful reasons you look younger than your age. In a world that celebrates hustle, we've somehow turned sleep into a luxury instead of a necessity. We push through it, cut it short, brag about how little we got, and still made it through the day. But your body doesn't play along with that narrative. It keeps the score, and every missed hour chips away quietly but steadily at your well-being, and yet at your appearance too. Because here's what's really going on behind the scenes while you're sleeping. Your brain is decluttering, clearing out waste, resetting your emotional baseline, processing the day. Your skin is rebuilding, literally regenerating cells. Your muscles are recovering. Hormones are balancing. And your nervous system is calming down from everything it carried during your waking hours. All of this is happening in silence while you're under the covers. It's the most efficient beauty treatment you'll ever get, and it's free. The opposite is also true. When we cheat sleep, even by a little, your body treats it like stress. And as we've talked about before, stress shows up. It wears on you. That one late night turns into a week of tired eyes, dull skin, shorter tempers. And before you know it, you're looking for something external to fix what's really an internal problem. And again, I'm not saying you need perfect sleep every night. That's not realistic for most people. Life gets loud, kids wake up, work deadlines hit, anxiety creeps in. But if you've learned to prioritize sleep, not just as a routine, but as a non-negotiable form of care, then your body's already thanking you for it in the most visible way possible. Maybe you've learned to wind down instead of crash, to make space between the chaos of the day and the quiet of the night. Maybe you've swapped late night scrolling for a book or dimmed the lights instead of letting a screen light up your face. Those little shifts, they matter. They tell your body we're safe now. We can rest. And if you've gotten to a place where you protect your sleep the way you protect your peace, that's no small thing. That's self-respect. That's choosing restoration over distraction. It's saying, and I'm worth slowing down for,